guys, it's Emily, and today I'm here to bring you part one of my December wrap-up. I have 4 books to show you. They're all pretty short, so I don't think this will take very long. I am planning to read 10 books this month, so my next wrap-up will be longer with 6 books. And I'm also planning to do like a book haul because I've been getting stuff for myself while I've been Christmas shopping, and then I want to do a Christmas haul like after Christmas too, because I like looking at other people's Christmas hauls as well. So, but before all that, let's do part one of my wrap up. So I started out the month reading the next 2 books in the Chronicles of Narnia series. I read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe back in October, and I said I was going to read the rest of them before the end of the year. So I started with Prince Caspian, which is number 2, and this is about the 4 children, Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy, being taken back to Narnia. And while they get taken back, they end up with Prince Caspian, so they end up in this old ruin, and it's a castle, and they don't know where they are, and they don't know what year it is or anything, and they find out they're in Narnia, but it's a Narnia that's like way in the future, like thousands and thousands of years in the future, and so they meet the prince, who is supposed to be the king of Narnia now, Prince Caspian, but he's been sort of kicked out by his evil uncle, and so this book is about them restoring Prince Caspian to his proper throne, and Aslan is there, and there's a mouse named Reepicheep who's really cute that's there, and it's a very entertaining book. None of the characters from the first book, besides the 4 children and Aslan, are there because it's set, so far in the future. And it's just a really fun book. I didn't enjoy it quite as much as Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I felt like it was rather short for the story it was trying to tell, and I felt like the conflict, the battle in it, was too short because, they built it up to be this like major event, and then it finally happens, and it's not that big of an event. But it's for kids, and it's supposed to be for like elementary school people, and I'm sure they think it's really fun and cool and exciting. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. And then I read book 3, which is, oops, I dropped that on the floor, that's bad. I read book 3, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and in this book, only Edmund and Lucy are in Narnia, and their cousin Eustace, I think it's how you say it, Eustace. And Eustace is a really terrible little kid, and he's rude to everybody, and nobody likes him. And what happens is they fall through a painting in Eustace's room, and they end up on a ship. They end up on the Dawn Treader with Prince Caspian again. They're on a quest to find some knights that were loyal to his father before his uncle killed his father and made the knights leave Narnia. And so they're on a quest to find knights, and they go to lots of interesting places. They meet a magician, and then somebody turns into a dragon temporarily, and then they go to like a really horrible place where they could get gold if they wanted, but it would make them mad. And it's just a really interesting, it's an adventure story. It's not like the other 2 where they stay in Narnia the whole time. They're constantly going to new places. And again, this is sort of, because it's so short, everything's really quick. Like, they're in one place for like 20 pages, and then they move to another place, and then they move to another place. So it's a very fast-paced read. I read this in like 2 or 3 days, because it's very short again, as I said. It's a really fun read. This whole series is really cute, and I'm really enjoying it. And I know I said I was going to finish the rest of the books in this year, but I was calculating my year-end stats, and I figured out that if I read the rest of these books, I would end up with having read more male authors than female authors for 2016, or I should say more books by male authors than books by female authors. And so, I just can't stand the idea of reading more men over women. I'm always trying to read more women overall. And so I decided I would put this the rest of the series aside and pick it up in 2017, where I have the chance to, equal out the number of female books by female writers versus books by male writers. So I'm going to finish up a few of the books I'd already started that were by males, but then the rest of the month I'm going to be reading female authors to ensure that overall I have read more books by female authors in 2016. So then, after I finished those two books, I had already decided to read A Christmas Carol this month, even though it's written by male authors. But I've never read any Dickens, and I really wanted to read this. I've seen the Muppets adaptation like 10 or 20 times in my life, so I knew the story pretty well. And after I read this, I've seen two more, maybe one more, just one more adaptation. And I really liked that one as well. So if you don't know, this is about Scrooge and, the three ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future come and meet him and tell him, hey, you need to change your life or else you're going to end up with chains around you and, be wandering around as an unhappy ghost the rest of your life. Or the rest, like all eternity. So it's just a really quick, 68-page short story novella about Scrooge and his change of heart. It was interesting because it's, the Muppets Christmas isn't entirely matching the book, and so it's some of the parts were different, like the part where Scrooge's sister comes to get him is different in the Muppets, and then there was one other part. What was it? Oh, I can't remember. But there was one other part. I think it was at the end. There was something different about the ending in the Muppets Christmas Carol. But anyway, this was just a really fun read. I read this in about 24 hours. I actually read part of it on my Kindle as well because I was in a car and we were riding at night. So I used this book and then I used my Kindle. So yeah, if you haven't read this, I would pick it up. Really short, a good way to introduce yourself to Dickens. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to be reading any more Dickens anytime soon. I've seen a lot of his works, like, movies, and so I don't feel a particular rush to read the rest of them. This is definitely a book I can see myself rereading every year. It's so short, and it's such a great message. And on the Kindle, when I was reading it, I highlighted a few quotes that I really liked, and I would love to revisit those quotes every year. So yeah, this was the third book I read in December. Really great, highly recommend it. Then the last book I want to talk about was Mrs. Queen Takes the Train by William Kuhn. I'm not sure. I picked this up because I had shelved it at the library, and I was like, oh, I had seen this before, but I'd never gotten it. And it was just such a cute cover. It looked sort of Christmassy, and I thought it might be sort of like a holiday book. It is not, by the way, so don't get it if you're looking for a Christmas read. So this book is about Queen Elizabeth II being sort of depressed, and she decides she wants to get away and stop being, doing all her duties, and so she takes an impromptu trip to Scotland, and she gets on a train and rides up there and meets some, common people, and, finds out more about, like, how the common people think. And it's a cute book, but I only gave this 2 stars, and mostly, it's sort of a catch-22. So this book covers not only the Queen, but it also covers some people that follow the Queen. And, I just felt like there's 6 people that are following her, 3 pairs of 2. And I just felt like a lot of the focus was on them. And I didn't really always appreciate that. I wanted to see more of the Queen. I wanted it to be mostly focused on her. I didn't really care about the other people, and so that was kind of disappointing. The other reason I didn't, and then the other part of the catch-22 is that I felt like it was kind of presumptuous of the author to assume that he knew what the Queen's thoughts were. I mean, I know that's the job of a writer, but when it comes to real people, it just seems like, I don't know, it seems kind of presumptuous. And so in that regard, I didn't You know, because he's talking about, like, things like Princess Diana's death and the fire at Windsor Castle, and, you know, like, really hard things that the Queen has gone through, and, you know, he's talking about, like, childhood memories of hers that, like, influenced her, and I don't know, it was just kind of weird to me that he would, you know, and he's a man, and it's like, you know, I don't know, it just seems weird, and I don't know. I didn't enjoy this book as much as I thought I would, which is sad to say. But yeah, if you like, you know, that's what's weird because, like, I kept seeing this on my Goodreads recommendation before I decided to get it. And so it was, like, assumed that I would like it. So I don't know why I didn't. You might like it if you like British novels or novels about royalty or things like that. But yeah, I didn't make it as the book for me. So yeah, that's all I got for this video. Real quick, I want to show you, I got this really beautiful planner this morning. Oh, it's got the price tag on it. At Half Price Books. And look how pretty it is. I can't wait to use this in 2017. So I just thought I would include this real quick because it's not a book. So I wasn't really going to include it in my upcoming book haul. But I still wanted to show it off. Because look, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay, that's all. I got 6 more books to read for the year, and I'll be back to give you those 6 books later in the month. Hope everybody's having a great Christmas holiday season, and I'll see you soon. Bye!